Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Gundam, starting with episode 3. We're actually going to start today off with a weird side story. You know how when you start seeing something or you start talking about something and then suddenly it begins popping up, and maybe it's just that you're noticing it more, and maybe it's that the universe is freaking weird and weird connections are made. Well, the other day I was listening to a podcast that I really like, NADPod, not another D&D podcast, which is great, and I highly recommend listening to it. But at the end of the podcast, they do this thing where they shout out all of the people who are supporting their podcast via their Patreon, and they do they write a little blurb, a little bit for each of the people who are supporting them on a certain tier or whatever, and they start shouting them out. But Jake Hurwitz, the guy who does Jake and Amir, was reading through one of these, and at the end of the podcast, and usually I kind of just skip it, honestly, because I want to get to the next episode. But this time I was lazy and I just let it keep running, and it piqued my attention because he says this bit and then says Gundam, and throughout the entire bit he just keeps calling Gundam and just being like, I have no idea what this thing is, but I'm saying it the way that I hope that it's right. And it had me kind of cracking up and dying laughing. I know that it's one of those you had to be there moments, but I found it very funny that Gundam starts popping up in other media that I like at the same time that I begin watching Gundam. Or maybe I'm just noticing it more. Who knows? Regardless, that's my little blurb for the day. Last week on Gundam, we watched, or Gundam. Fuck. We watched episode 2, and we mostly escaped from all the bad things, sort of, for now. Char did a crazy mission. We realized that Shayla, that girl, is probably his sister. I'm gonna guess that she's his sister. We had some cool animation and some cool bits as Char does a genuinely insane suicide mission to scope out the competition and take pictures and shit. I don't even think he got any pictures. He just looked at stuff through his super scope. And we sort of established a bit of a rivalry and had our first major space battle between two mobile powered suits. It was fucking sick. It was really cool. I really liked the episode. I liked a lot of things. I really liked going onto Sakagaburu afterward and looking at all of the corrections that Yasuhiko made. It's Yoshihiko Yasi. Fuck. Yoshikazu Yasuhiko. I got it right the first. It's Yasuhiko. Both names start with a Y, and it fucks my brain up. But there were some really cool corrections, and it became pretty clear to see how much work he was doing to change and create this sense of consistency and this sense of the characters and the way that they look and the way that they express themselves and the way that they feel and the way that the world feels. And that's really cool to see. That's the kind of shit that tickles something in the back of my mind and makes me happy. So here we are. We're going into episode 3 of Gundam. I know that I'm hard triggering some people out there. I'm sorry, but it just stuck in my mind and I find it very funny. We're going into episode 3. Our homies have destroyed the bad guys for the most part. Char, of course, escapes because that boy's not going anywhere. He'll be back. And we are in White Base, leaving the giant semi-exploded location, and we're meeting our friends, our sort of characters. We met Bright more specifically. We had a conversation between Amuro and Bright that makes me think that Bright is going to be our fucking boy soon, and I am down for that. And I don't really know what the next step is. We got some images of a weird asteroid facility place, and I think that's where we're heading, and I don't know what to expect there, except that probably Char will attack us again, maybe with better suits and shit, and we're gonna have to deal with that. Maybe, though, because we've had this sort of bombastic, immediate, we're straight into the action intro, maybe we slow down a little bit and get to have some character interactions. Notice that Frau Bao is here and alive, and that's pretty good. And Amuro might have some time to think about what he has to do to be better and not rely on the Gundam so much. Maybe we get a training montage. I don't know. I'm just hoping. But I have kind of no idea what to expect. We're in a world of show where the things that I think are predictable aren't necessarily predictable because it's from a fully different era. And a lot of things are are inspired by this show, but that doesn't mean that they follow the same sensibilities. So I wouldn't say that I'm like lost, but I'm curious as to what's going to happen next and how it's going to play out and how we're going to explore and expand upon the world and the characters and the cool robots and shit that make up Gundam. So I think that's my piece here at the beginning of episode 3. Let's watch episode 3 and we will move on from there. I'm sure that we're going to watch at least 2 episodes today, maybe 3. I've been told that like 3 might be a really good idea, but I'm going to play it by ear. So Gundam, Episode 3, Vote to Attack. I know that the titles might be spoilery, but there's nothing I can do about being able to see them, except to, like, put blinders on and pretend that I don't see the file name, but I do see the file name, and I know that this episode is called Vote to Attack, so there it is. I don't know if that vote is coming from the Zeons or from the us. Like, are we going to start going on the offensive as retaliation for this destruction of Side 7? Or are the Zeons going to have some kind of... Do they have a democracy? I don't think they have a democracy. So I don't know what's going to happen here. And I'm really curious to find out. I want to know more about the world and about the characters and about the people and about the nations and all the things and the war. And I'm kind of into it. Who'd have thought I'd be into a show? Okay, let's watch Gundam Episode 3. So I've got the episode up and ready to go. There'll be 2... Why am I doing that? There'll be 2 versions of this reaction video. You can find a picture-in-picture version with the video up there, linked in the description down there. Timer-based version up on YouTube. Early access on Patreon if you want to support the channel or get early access to more Gundam. You can totally do that. And the timer-based version will have a beep beep timer so that you can sync up your own copy, and that timer is coming at you right now. Let's do this. Cool OP. I'm sorry. This is very full. Oh yeah, Bright is the second one to appear. Oh, he's our boy. He's our boy. All right, I can't wait to earn that guy's respect. Hi, Char. And your army. So is Amuro gonna pilot all of those, or are we gonna get like squad and all our homies pilot one? Because that would be very cool. Of course, we gotta space them out though. I love her run so much. Sayla's. Her like, it's got so much to it. It's so different and unique. I love it. Sick. Sweet. Oh, there's another place. Oh, this is it's just the intro. I'm dumb. I always forget that this is a part of the thing. Fully a part of the thing. But then everything changed when the Zeons attacked. 00179. I only just noticed that he says that in English. Crazy. I want a compilation of all the times that has been parodied. Ah, that's the asteroid thing. Yeah. That makes sense. It's actually pretty cool science as well. Sir, yes, sir. I love this hallway. Ooh. Hey! Thank you, children. They're literally 2 seconds away, lady. We got you. Oh my god, she still does the run, even in the... She still does it! That's fucking sick. Yeah, where did you live? Maybe. Huh. So the elite are the Earth dwellers? That's an interesting perspective, Sayla. Ah. Oh, yeah, no, for sure. He's got to regroup a little, though. Got kind of pretty soundly bopped. Okay. Jesus. I don't know that one other Zaku would make that much of a difference here. That's great. That looks great. Okay, it's Frau Bo, not Bao. Okay. Yeah, he's working. mm. Nah, he's in it, man. Oh, okay. I don't think he's upset, man. I think he took it to heart. Seems like he's got his head on straight. Yeah. Yeah. My man's no way. Sure. Hmm. Resupply. So that's the Papua class thing. Yeah. No, that's great. I love her. Yeah, let's hit them right now while they don't have stuff. But if it's mobile suits, it might be longer. Regardless, we gotta choose right now. Dude, Bright's a great leader. He's great. Hell yeah, dude. You are all supposed to go. Oh, thanks. Appreciate it. Zipping up. Okay. At best. No, tell us the alternative first. Hell yeah. Put it up, Frau. Hell yeah, kids. They know what's up. Cool. Come on. All right. Let's go. Okay. I hope so. I love this track. Fully marching to war. I love it. That looks great. The mechanical design is so great. Oh, cool. To prevent it from... That's actually really cool. Zooming. So sick. We an aircraft character. Carrier. Aircraft character. Hi, I'm an aircraft. I'm really big. Zoom, zoom. Cool. Yeah. Yep. Back up with the beam cannons. Love it. Sorry, I did not sleep much last night. Sweet. Man, they really make the ship feel pretty fucking cool. I mean, it's white base. It looks cool. Yeah. Okay, there's our ship. It might not for much longer, buddy. Ah, fuck this guy. I immediately am reminded of like 10 characters from Ginga Eiyu Densetsu. Okay, buddy. You're also dead this episode. That's pretty cool. Oh, that makes sense. Stay down, dude. Dude, they're gonna see you. Oh, that's horse. Smart. Smart. You can't see it. It's blocked by the sun. Ding! Let's do it. Yeah, right? It's almost like he's a main character for some reason. Classic, basic strategy. Yeah, sick. I love it. I love it. That's our like third like major interesting indication of Amuro's like value as a character just in this episode. Or it's at least his second. I don't know what that means. Oh, I need to pay more attention to the Xeon names. Oh, what up? I got a big boomstick with your name on it. Boomstick. Weird. Fucking nice. Blew up the thing. They can't get their supplies. Win. Victory. And of course, he's going to try to run. Bye. Oh, I expected him to be more resistant. Props to got him. Props. I thought he was going to be a total dick. Chaff. Oh. Dude, this episode is great so far. I'm digging. Sure. I love that so much. Dude, I'm getting into it. I don't know. Dren Gaden. Wow, full wheel? Oh. Yeah, we did. Oh, he's gonna shoot it out of the fucking sky. Oh, he missed. I did not expect him to miss. He's Char. He's perfect. Okay, you got that one. Cool. He got one of the two. Oh, no, he got both of them, just the mobile suits got by. Oh, this is kinda hard to follow for me for a second. Maybe it's just because 'cause I'm tired, and that's fine. Oh, fun cuts. Tough to do that much debris on a cell. Whoa. Whoa! What up? Don't rely on your Gundam too much. Bright told you. Bright told you. You're not gonna hit him with the missile launcher, dude. Not a chance in hell. Yeah, no, the head guns. Alright, let's not be celebrating. I think it was out one shot ago because we saw how many missiles were in it. Whoa. 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 Man, it's just like we're just right back to the same fight as last episode, except crazier. Pew 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 pew. Yeah, you did. Oh. Oh. Damn. What is that motherfucker? Oh man, yeah, the newbiness. The newbiness is gonna prevent this from being a blowout. That's rough. That's rough. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wow. Who? Ryu? Shit. But he was communicating with Amuro though. Maybe it's a different circuit or something. That's fine. Oh, nice. Yeah, throw your gun. This is true. Oh shit. He's gonna knock you into the yeah. Oh my god. Whoa, Char. Yeah, the strength of the mobile suit does have an effect, but you have proven yourself to be more than a worthy opponent. Bye. Wait. Oh, well, sick. Let's do it. But but Freckle Coward Boy is gonna be the one in the gun tank? What? But I don't like that guy. All right, he gets a chance. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh no. Man, this is snappy. There's so much happening, and so much of it has like an impact on how I see these characters. Reuse. That's our second shot reuse of the whole show. Or maybe third. There are a couple of other things that we've seen. All right, bud. No. No, Kai. Don't you dare. I do not approve this ship. Stay in your fucking gun tank, buddy. No. She's mine. Yeah, we die. We die. Oh. Bloom. Sick. I love the smoke out the back. All right, man. I thought this dude with his big ass mustache was gonna be an egotistical bitch. Sorry, I shouldn't say bitch. Asshole. Matthew and Fix. Ryu! Yeah, do not let the core fighter get destroyed. So they've got sort of like non-combat-ish mobile suits as well. Oh shit. The boy is coming. And he's got his sword out. Should have pulled the sword out from the beginning. Whoa. Okay, so that is a Zaku. It's just different. All right, dude. I grew to honestly respect you, my man. Holy shit, got him. Goddamn. Oh, fun cut. That's gonna be bad. But I think it's below the... Oh, shit, he is dead. I was kind of hoping he was going to, like, cut the bottom off of it, and he was just going to be a fighting torso of mobile suit. That would be kind of sick. Ah. Sword. Sword. No? Okay, bye. Mm. They struck, dude. They did good. Yeah, but also a well-timed, well-executed attack. But you're the one who just said that the suits aren't everything. It means you got an enemy, dude. Yeah, but that can surprise you. True. Also true. No, fuck you. Yeah, you done goofed with that one, but okay. You know, first time in battle for most of these people, right? Hmm. I agree. Way too quick. Up here, too, as well. Boom. Oh, we're starting to become boys. I love it. That was the beginning. Yeah, 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 yeah. Which one? Oh, that bright guy? Yeah, probably. Thank you, Frau. Oh! You shut your fucking mouth. That's the best character on this ship, dog. T. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Action-packed episode. For sure. Boom. Bam. Wow. I mean, again, action-packed episode. Crazy lots of stuff going on here. I love some of the shots of us, like, coming around the asteroid or the Gundam going across it, or even the gun tank driving across it. Um, I love every interaction between Bright and Amuro. I love this hallway, man. I really, really do. I love that when they start running, Sayla's run is somewhat. It's not completely the same as in the OP, but it is the consistently exactly like the same sort of style of run, where her arms go almost more horizontal than they do vertical. Right? It's really interesting. It makes her super distinct as a character. Like, as the moment I see it in the OP, I think, who the fuck is that character? And then I see it here and it's completely distinct from all the other characters. I'm really interested in this little interaction and whether we're going to flesh it out. I mean, we got a lot of episodes, we have to. So the first thing that's interesting here is, of course, that he asks her where she's from, and she responds, "Do I have to answer that?" As though she has something to hide, and then she responds, she answers it anyway, right? Like after he's like, "No, you don't. I guess you don't have to answer," but she answers Earth, and then he says, "This is my first time." Out in space, so he's been planet side his whole life, or has he been on side 7 his whole life? I don't know. And she says, "So you're one of the elite." Because of the lack of clarity on whether he means like being fully planet side or being like station side on side 7, I don't know which one means what, but clearly there's some, I don't know. There's some class distinction between the people who are forced to be out in space and the people who aren't. It's a little unclear. So that's intriguing. And it's also intriguing that Sayla sees it this way, because, like, what does that say about her character and what she has internalized, and, like, how much of what she knows? Like, how old was she when she was off Xeon? I'm 100% convinced that Sayla is Char's sister, probably born on the whatever the Xeon Federation's, like, place location thing is, right? So what's the deal with that, and why is it that way? I don't know. I love how we towed this line between all these characters being amateurish and highly competent. Especially like Ryu shows his stuff. The guy who talks about the like judo throw shows his stuff, and then the girl who last episode stepped up to say that she has a license for actually piloting things, and is now like our prime pilot for the white base. Keeps showing her stuff. And then we get this whole scene where Frau comes concerned about Amuro because he's throwing himself, ignoring everything else, into understanding the Gundam and knowing it as well as he can. Like, literally leveling himself up as a pilot so that he can try to start equaling the machine that he's piloting, now that it's his responsibility. So there are a lot of things that this says about Amuro, and the primary one is a lot of characters in a situation where Lieutenant Bright turns to him and says, "You're not good enough." They go, "Oh, wham, wham, man, man, man," and they like sulk for a bit, right? Amuro doesn't do that. He's like, "Okay, I don't like that you said that to me. That doesn't feel good, but I'm gonna do everything I can to change it immediately." And that's what he's doing immediately, right? It gives this feeling of the character like he's truly a go-getter who's got his eye on the prize. Um, yeah, and that's got nothing to do with it. I'm just trying to survive, right? I just don't want to die. Is pretty serious, right? He understands the seriousness of this situation. This conversation is great. How they're like speculating as to what the position of the enemy might be, and the answer is kind of both. He doesn't have any weapons, and I didn't think that was necessarily true. But then Bright is like, well, we have to treat them as though they're a dangerous, like, cornered animal who do have weapons. Otherwise, we're gonna get blindsided. And instead, they decide to launch an attack. And I love the way that we show in this particular scene Bright turning to everyone and gathering as much information as he can, and like turning to everybody. I don't Oh yeah, also I don't like your tone of voice, cut it out. Okay. But the "what do you think, Hayato?" is key, right? He's like a kid practically, right? and still Bright is like, I've got to outsource to as many brains as possible so that we can have the best chance of surviving. And he puts it to a vote, calls everyone into the room, including the children. I don't know that their vote super counts, but they all go, and he has them vote. Doesn't do a super good job of laying out the vote. Like, you got to tell people what both options are before you recommend both options, right? But let's go for the attack. And pretty much everyone raises their hands, and so it's on. And I love that we know that it's on, and then we start the music that says it's on, right? Immediately, right? It means so much, and it ingrains this piece of music into us as this is the shit's going down music. The mechanical design is sick. It's just really sick. The subs are being messy. Hold on. Okay. Core Fighter Catapult. I love this thing to handle the like jets from the back, and the exhaust from them is super cool. I love that the Gundam gets catapulted aircraft character style. And boom, we've got gunners, we've got all these things, and I love the way that this battle starts playing out. We see this character, and my time with Ginga Eiyu Densetsu fully makes me think that this guy is like, oh, the Empire will rule forever, and it is my status as a man with a big mustache that says that you, young upstart Char, will blah, blah, blah. Instead, he's legit here to do his job and fully sacrifices himself in the process of doing it. Although, maybe he should have listened to Char and not attacked the Gundam without a weapon, but still, right? Like, mad respect to the dude. I love the mechanical design of this whole thing with the docking like things. I don't know what to call them. They call them tubes, but they're not. And I love these scenes with the asteroid side and skimming across it. Then we have, of course, the second primary thing that is like, oh, Amuro is good at this. First, Amuro is good at this because he's willing to get better at this and take criticism legitimately and like try to improve. Second, Amuro is good at this because he's got a bit of a mind for tactics. Or is that strategy? Again, this is something that's talked about constantly in Ginga Eiyu Densetsu. Okay, yeah, no, this is tactics. So strategy is the overarching plan or set of goals. Tactics are the specific actions or steps you undertake to accomplish your strategy. So in this case, strategically, Bright is the one who makes the strategic decision first to like seek information and help from other people, and then to attack. And then Amuro is making the tactical decision to go around and make sure that they're fighting with the sun at their backs, which absolutely changes the way that this battle plays out, right? Like, we see them looking around like, where are those missiles coming from? What's going on? And not knowing. I think we do see the number of... Okay, so he fires one... and there are 3 more. I guess the only thing that's weird is the one time when there are 2 missiles side by side, right? Is the only thing that's weird. Otherwise, it's exactly the right number of missiles for him to run out. So that's pretty freaking cool. I love the eye catch, the sound of it at least. The actual visual is super simple. I've got you now. Yeah, right. This moment where he fires 2. I guess that's being fired from the core fighter. So the number of missiles that that Amuro fires is actually accurate, and that's when he runs out. I like those little things, man. I really appreciate that little stuff. And I know that some of the people working on this are probably a little bit obsessive about making sure that things line up. Maybe not in realism terms, although there's a lot of work to make this feel as realistic as possible. But at least in consistency. This whole sequence is really cool. It's very energetic. This guy exploding is a lot of work. And then this one where we've got the ship moving past, the core fighter moving by, and all of these little explosions going. Super awesome. It's just super awesome. I also love these clashes against the white of the sun. I don't know. I don't know if this is the first time that something like that has been done. I kind of doubt it. It's just fucking cool. But I've for sure seen this as a scene and as a shot in multiple things with characters clashing against a bright light. Yeah, and it's freaking sick. And Char shows some dominance here, although he does say like Oh yeah, and I love that. I love that punch. It's not an Obari punch or anything like that exactly, but it's free. I mean, I don't think the Obari punch was invented at this point. I don't even know that Masami Obari was working as an animator at this point. He would have been, yeah, no, he would have been 13 when this was airing. I don't know. I've got this it's fully imagined, it's not real, but I've got this imagined vision of young Masami Obari watching this punch over and over and being like, that's fucking sick. I want to do that. This fight is pretty crazy, and Char shows that getting up in close and just beating on the Gundam is actually valid and works. It's crazy, and I think that the interplay between these two suits and the way that this whole sequence looks is way cooler than the first fight that they had. Does he like? How does he smear at the edge here as he dodges this blow? Yeah, okay. So there's a bit of a schmearing, kind of like he goes into a run and then zips away. That's pretty cool. But these big kind of dynamic shots with stuff cut in between them to make them feel kind of chaotic, the cuts to the inside, and then these big dynamic shots and big punches and shit are really, really, really cool, and they work really, really, really well to make this fight awesome. I love white base coming over the horizon. It just has this vibe to it. I love that they're like struggling to get these supplies across in the middle of this combat. And I honestly have so much respect for Gaden, or Goddamn, for trying so hard to complete his mission, right? Like, again, that character in Ginga Eiyu Densetsu would be like, well, I guess Reinhard gets to die now. I'm piecing. I'm out. And instead, Gaden like, gets in his own Zaku and is chucking Zakus across space to try to get them to where they need to go. And I think it's amazing. So we can't, yeah. Boom. And Char is talking to him and calling him out and saying that the suit isn't everything and that tactics are more important. And he shows it. He demonstrates it fight by fight, punch by punch, that he's able to go toe to toe with a much more advanced mobile suit, at least to stall it, right? And that's fantastic. So great shit from Godem. Crazy cool explosion. It's one of the first like seriously non-pink explosions. I guess it starts pink, but then it goes all deep reds, and it's awesome looking. Really cool looking. Very simple, but really cool looking. And then the Gundam coming up over that same edge with the sun directly behind it. Wow. Fucking awesome, dude. Fucking awesome. I have nothing to say but awesome. And Godem's sacrifice is noted, and he gets a big old punch in, but it does nothing. And he gets chopped. Again, when I saw this scene, I fully thought that Amuro was gonna chop through like the bottom half of the Zaku, and we would just have a top half of a Zaku just being like, "I'm gonna get you," because that would be really, really rad and kind of like work metaphorically for how he keeps defeating Char, but he keeps coming after him. But instead, he just explodes, and that's kind of sad. I hope that he didn't manage to eject, did he? No, no, he fully explodes. That sucks. I kind of liked him. Pop was destroyed. Godem is dead, but they got their supplies. What does it all mean? What does it mean? Ah. I love that. I think it's Ryu. Uh, uh, Contradicts Bright to say like, no, Amuro did it good. We probably wouldn't have made this as successful as it was if we hadn't gone the way that he said. And we get this little moment here where I clicked a button on my mouse. This little moment where they look at each other and there's some broness happening. I know they don't like each other still. I know that Amuro is still a little bit stung by the way that Bright is treating him, and Bright fully just doesn't trust him to be like the spearhead of their chance to survive. But it's happening. I know that the respect between them is building inch by inch, bit by bit, piece by piece, and it makes me very happy. I like this episode a ton. I think it's super fucking rad. I'm gonna go to Sakagaburu and see if we can find anything else that's rad about it. Give me a sec. Okay, there are only 3 cuts this time, so let's just go through them really quickly. This is a Yas correction. Wow, huge difference. Such an immense difference. Fully reshape the nose, fully reshape the mouth to create a fully different expression. The eyes are completely different. Yeah, truly, and again, like that focus on creating shape and form and expression in the eyebrows, right? Where they're just turned down at the bottom. Like we read those things so clearly. And turning this sort of symmetrical chin into a little bit off center to give him a little bit more of an angle to his face. It's so different. Really small changes that make an immense difference. Artist unknown, Gundam explosions, awesomeness. I mean, this is a super sick set of cuts that really makes this space battle come to life in a lot of ways. And I just thought it was fantastic. And Char's zooming in and just being there too quick for him to react is amazing. This one is Artist Unknown and Yasuhiko Yoshikazu. I love the throwing the bazooka. It's a silly maneuver, but hey, you got to try what you got to try. And he calls him an amateur, smacks him, whacks him, and off he goes flying, buying Char precious time to escape, but instead he's right there, right? I think part of the thrilling moment here is that I thought Char's gonna knock him away and then escape, right? He's zooming away so that he can continue the operation and get the suits that he needs and all that stuff. No, Char hits you and then he gets right up on top of you and hits you again. Ruthless, brutal, and scary. And I think that's really, really cool in a villain. Yeah, yeah, awesome. Okay, so those are the cuts that we have on Sakagaburu. I think they're a great selection, but there are a ton of other cuts in this episode that probably deserve to be up on Sakagaburu because there was a lot in this one that was really, 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 really cool. And yeah, that's my piece for Gundam Episode 3. I think that's all I've got for this one. Let's watch another. This is going to be our first double, maybe a triple. Who knows? We'll see at the end of this this second episode. But give me a second to do a syncy thing and sync up all my tracks and stuff so that I can do it better in editing. And then we will be back in just a moment for episode 4. Peace. All right, welcome back. We are good to go for episode 4, Escape from Luna. I guess maybe we'll run into something bad at Luna Station or something. I don't know. Let's watch the episode and I guess we'll find out. Beep beep timer. When we get the blue suit, because he's been in white mostly, but that all blue suit was pretty rad. When does the core fighter start transforming too? I'm just realizing how distinctive all of the core cast are as character designs. They're really, really different. I think it's great. Ah, that's cold. I'm putting water on my legs because it's really hot in here. All right, here's our repeat intro. Right, it's not the Xeon Federation, it's the Earth Federation and the Principality of Xeon. Crazy. Damn right. Alright, Escape from Luna 2. I guess it doesn't even matter that I see the titles, because they always show them at the beginning. So. Oh, that's for landing. Oh. Hello. Where is everybody? Okay. If we could. Okay. Yeah, what's going on? Who this be? Aw. Wait. We heard that name before. I don't fully trust this dude. I don't remember when we mentioned Joaquin before. Side 7 is fucking gone, fam. Wait. No, 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 no. Yeah, are these Xeons? That's true. Whoa. Whoa, the enemy within. Yeah. Later. Okay, he mentioned Joaquin. No! Bro, what? Okay, there's our one commanding officer who has authority here, and he's out. Oh, for sure. Wow, fuck this guy. Are are we the baddies? Oh, he fully would, dude, and he'll win. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hello? Oh. Hello, I am Char. I am here to To fuck your shit up. Wow, the whole thing looks like a giant face with Kamina glasses underneath. That's sick. Okay, there again, the Minovsky particle. I want to know what those are. I'm going to look those up at some point. Hmm. Damn right. All right. Okay. He's so Reinhard, man. He's not as likable. Well, maybe he is. Boy's got spirit. Oh, shit. What does it mean? What does it mean, Char? Impossible. Only 10 years ago. Right, because your sister was sickly or something. Got them long legs. Dude, it's 100% her. I don't think so, man. I think she a baddie. We're gonna attack in mobile suits. Okay, he still wants the Gundam. Got it. So that's why they called it the Trojan horse. Smart. I love those hallways. Hey, hey. No. That's the first reasonable thing you've said, Kai. I still do not like you. And you stay away from Sayla. Watching you. Is there a pun in his name? I don't know. You would know, man. You a bazooka, boy. Oh, wow. No, wait. They're attacking without mobile suits. They're just going in. Char, you... Every time, man, my respect for Char just grows. It's like, maybe we're the good guys, but damn, I would want to be under his command. Guy's got stones. Shit. That's a big gun. And that's what they're counting on, is their big guns. Where is the white? Oh, hello. That's a colorful ship. Wait. Oh. Well, it's the good guy ship. That's why. Okay. Oh. Really? So it's got an AI built in? Shit. Fuck. Shit. Oh, Jesus. It almost became the food that whoa. Y'all gotta get out of this room, dog. Does that mean the door's open? Of course. Jesus. Let's go. Get to white base. Yeah, uh-huh. Yeah, that's the way to lead. The what? I guess we're gonna find out. So fun. Okay, door is not open. 100%. Oh! Oh, okay. Yeah, thought so. Still, any electronic lock worth its salt is just physically locked, so. Hello! Our dreamy bright. That's a pretty cool ship. Don't know. Oh, Shadow. Oh. No, stop it. Stop waving. Do not point that gun at that child. Nice. Nice. Groovin'. Damn right. Let's go. All right, there goes the Magellan. Did he call it Magellan-kun? Okay. Shows how much they're afraid of it. What is it supposed to do against these... Rip. Big rip. Ibakana! Masaka! Yeah, I feel pretty good about that. I don't like this guy. Wow. I know that it's unfair because we get to see the trap being there and he doesn't, but... Oh, shit. Tell me we don't have to blow up our own soldiers, even if they're assholes. We gotta get out of here. Damn right Fraubo is. Alright, Bright. Alright, I'm seriously, Mirai flies under the radar because, you know, Frau's really cute and Sayla's really cool, but I don't know, Mirai might be best girl. Who fucking knows, man? Competent as hell. Ah. Yeah, get those restraints off. Ah. Hi. We have orders from Joaquin? Nope, not gonna lie. This is where you need a party face, dude. Oh, that's Joaquin himself. Yeah, keep it moving. We're all gonna fucking die. See this pointed look child? Paulo? Hey, hi. Say it, bud. They're our only hope. And soldiers don't know how. Only the people who've used them do. But they're not soldiers. Yeah, it's a pride wounder, man. It's a pride wounder. You have to obey the orders you're given, dude. He's technically your commander. Come on, Joaquin. Snap to it. Let's go. Good shit. Okay. Cool. Let's go. Let's fucking rock and roll, dude. Wow, they're fully launching in spaceship? That seems very dangerous. Okay, those are the only two Zaku that they have as far as I know. Oh, it's Matthew and Fix. You can try. You have never hit him with a missile, ever. You have never come close. Ah, his eye twitched. Oh, he's got an axe. That's new. Oh, shit. All right, good. Good. The bazooka was useless, dog. Pull out the sword. Thank you. Oh, cool cut. Holy shit. Wow, wait, the core fighter is way smaller compared to a Zaku than I thought it was. All right, still the way is blocked. What do we do about this, man? Are there people on it? Fuck, shit, fuck. Sweet, let's go. Let's rock and roll, Joaquin. To prevent it from being taken, but what about escape? Oh. Ding! Oh, so the axe can hold. Hey, second sword, what's up? Yeah. Ba-boom. Oh. Oh. Uh-oh. So that's why we secured it. Move. Oh. There goes either Matthew or Fix. I want to see how that exploded again. Oh, later. Bye. Pretty dope one. I mean, he's the bad guy, but like in a Billie Eilish sense, where it's pretty rad that he's bad. Tell me, there's a Billie Eilish Char AMV, right? Like, there has to be. There's enough for it in just these first couple episodes. And we're out. Sweet. Going to Earth. We're going to Earth. We're going to find out some stuff about Earth. Is Paolo okay? True. Oh, shit. No, he's not. Legit saved all their lives. Damn. It is not letting up on, like, this is war for reals. Ah, good question. Well, he got launched off into space by an explosion. So, maybe he's on Earth or something. Who knows? Ding, and cut to black, or fade to black, and we're out. Bada boom. Wow, cool episode. Intrigue and politics and military and feeling like you have to follow regulations to the T. This is an interesting one. It says a lot about military personnel and how they view civilian personnel, but also about structured hierarchies of command and how they can fall apart in situations where they're not built to expect this kind of thing. I mean, Joaquin in this episode ends up being an antagonistic force to us until he has his turn, but he really is just doing his job. I was because it had hit the back of my mind, like we definitely heard Joaquin before, but I wasn't sure that it was Paolo who had said it. I was worried for a second that did Char say Joaquin at some point, and like he's actually a Xeon, because the way he acts in this intro, in this beginning when we first meet him, I'm like, okay, something's wrong, deeply wrong at this base, and I know that they have to escape the base. So I'm wondering if there's going to be a turn where it's like, oh fuck, the Zeons have already infiltrated this base and taken over all its personnel, and he's like, the fact that he's blonde helps as well, right? I know that not all blonde characters are going to be Zeons, but we've met like two blonde characters, and they are Sayla, who is clearly a former Zeon named Artesia, and Char, who's the bad guy, right? So I'm like, I see this guy does some things, and that's smart writing and smart production, and it's meant to make us suspicious of him. But he's not suspicious, really. He is just acting out his orders in a way that actually makes sense. So it makes sense, but pointing guns at children, I don't know, man. Maybe take stock of yourself and ask whether you're the baddies. I don't know. Yeah, and fully dismisses Bright and all that shit. I really like this design in here. Like these things at the top kind of really look like eyes, like a lot, and I think they're meant to. And then this is just Kamina glasses, but cool, and it's pretty fucking rad. I dig it. And Char is shook. He's shook by this. He is trying to figure out what's going on with Artesia, if anything, but he has got his eye on the freaking prize. He wants the Gundam. He wants White Base or the Trojan Horse. He wants it all, and he's willing to fucking get in a suit and go zooming to try to get it. Really cool infiltration scene. Really kind of scary that they can just waltz on in here and get this done. It's crazy. We get to find out some stuff about the Gundam. And some of what Amuro says makes sense, which is like, oh, I guess it's just really smart. But then you remember that it's taken multiple like world-shattering blows from Char's Xeon, both like punches and like shots from multiple assault. Like the first thing that we found out about the Gundam was that Amuro gets into it and he's barely moving in it, and one of the Zaku's blam 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 with a giant assault rifle, and it does nothing. It fully bounces off. So there's also some like materials science aside things that are telling us that the Gundam is made of sterner stuff, right? It's way more durable than most of the suits that we've seen. It also has fucking lightsaber laser swords. So there's some stuff beyond it's got a cool AI in it. But the idea that it has a cool AI in it is pretty neat, and I wonder if that's going to like do anything here. Is the Gundam going to become sentient at some point? No, I highly doubt that a combat computer will become sentient, but it is going to start programming shit in, which is pretty cool and pretty interesting. Big boom, and suddenly the chase is on. All these explosions go off, and we start realizing, wait, what? There's a trap? Yes, there's a trap. So they send out the Magellan, and it's bad, and we see that this girl is the real hero of the whole fucking thing because she stomps that instep. Boom. I actually want to see, like, her face changes for a moment. Who does the wave and the wink? Looks up at this guy. Hello, I'm going to fuck your shit up. Grr, pow. Awesome, and runs away. Ha 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 ha. Amazing. Truly saving lives today. Fuck that guy's foot up, though. He's gonna have a bruise. Amazing, though. I love all the little screens and stuff that they're looking at to communicate with each other. Bright is continuing to demonstrate his ability to lead and his willingness to step to authority and you know, I guess you could call it speaking truth to power, but I don't really want to use that phrase. But to steps to someone in a position of authority against him who's also in a position of physical power against him, pointing a gun at his head, and tell him what needs to be said before Paolo comes in and says the same, is pretty freaking rad. It's good stuff from Bright, man. I keep growing in respect of him. Also keep growing in respect of Char because he executes a pretty damn good plan here that is genuinely only foiled by Joaquin turning and a bunch of people working together in really crucial moments to make shit happen. Primarily, a little girl stomping a dude's foot is what lets everything come together, so I'm going to say that she is the real hero. Amuro, the combat computer might be good, but your internal combat computer is not great because you keep firing a fucking bazooka rocket at Char and he keeps dodging it by a mile. So you gotta just go hand to hand with the man. You gotta pull the swords immediately and expect him to zoom in and punch you because that's what he's gonna do. If you want to win this, you're gonna have to fight that way, or you're gonna have to equip some different weaponry because you're not hitting him with a goddamn rocket. Ever. It's not gonna happen. Now, watch me be so wrong and like next episode Char gets clipped by a rocket or some bullshit, but I don't think it's in the future, man. I don't think that's in the cards. Char's zooming in, and the glowy cyclopean eye of the Zaku's and his Zaku in particular are super sick. The fact that he leveled up and grabbed an axe because he knows that he has to go hand to hand with the Gundam, and so he's got this dank ass giant axe toy that is clearly a toy that can probably be fit into the hand of. Well, I guess they weren't going to make Zaku toys at the beginning, right? They didn't plan to, as far as I know. But then they ended up selling super well, so I guess they made them. Maybe they were planning to. No. I know that they weren't planning to because there's a part of that interview that I watched before watching I think before watching episode 2 where one of the character designer or the mechanical designer said that he basically had free reign with the Zaku's because they didn't expect them to be like a toy line. And so he was able to build them however he wanted and didn't have to build them with an eye towards selling them to kids. And then, of course, they blew the fuck up because they're pretty rad and they've got a cool design. So it's kind of a story about let your designers be a little bit more uninhibited and then maybe they'll make things that people actually think are cool because they think that they're cool. I think that's pretty cool. But the big axe is dope, and we find out that this axe has some kind of material about it that allows it to actually hold off the saber sword, beam sword, laser things. Speaking of saber sword, beam sword, laser things, I want to look up what Minovsky particles are. I'm going to guess that it's a real thing and that it actually has meaning, but I don't know. I don't know what importance it would have. So let me look it up. It is not a real thing. It is only coming up on Gundam Wiki. And I'm just going to look at the so it's a subatomic particle, molecule, element, or form of energy which has rigidly adhered to it useful physical properties. So that's Minovsky physics is a TV trope. And then the Minovsky particle itself is a thing invented for Gundam. So they are particles used for combat and communication or something. And I'm not going to read too much further. But but they are like some sort of important physics thing that makes all the tech work. So that makes sense. And also, I assume because they're talking about like the density of the particles affecting the way that combat will play out, I assume that they play a role and like can cause interference and shit. So that's pretty interesting. Um, yeah, I love this shot of the core fighter zooming past the Zaku. It's really sick. And I feel like maybe it's a weirdness of foreshortening and a weirdness of like of angle, but I feel like the core fighter was a lot bigger than that, but it's way smaller. I guess, you know what? We saw that in the OP, the core fighter, I don't think that it transforms exactly. Yeah, here. It transforms into a little portion that then becomes a locked in like extra sized torso for the Gundam, right? So that's interesting. So I guess it is pretty small. It's like a small fighter pilot plane as opposed to these giant mobile suits. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see that that's actually kind of consistent and it does make sense. This whole fight is super duper sick. I hope that there are some cuts on Sakagaburu so that we can see it. But the whole like I pull out another sword and stab the guy behind me is so classic and so all over the place that I gotta love it. The giant explosion is awesome, and I wanted to see how this guy, who is either Fix or Matthew, explodes. Like fully is crumpled into a little ball of material and then vaporized. Holy shit. And almost hits their ship as well, which is crazy. And then we get to block and remove that from the remove the axe, which is great. And we say a somber goodbye to our commander, Paolo, who also had a huge role in saving all of our lives by convincing Joaquin to follow his orders and let these people who have a shot here take their shot here and try to survive so that the Federation can do the same. Super freaking sick episode. Cool interpersonal stuff. Cool, like again, stuff talking about military hierarchies that I hope we build upon. Resistance to change, resistance to allowing people to do this stuff, and also personal pride, right? This pride of being like, but I'm a real soldier. I should be in control here. You guys are amateurs. You don't know what you're doing. But Paolo puts it pretty eloquently later that these are the people who have the only people who have fought using this technology, regardless of their previous training, and they've survived this long when everybody and all of the soldiers on White Base did not. So let them at it, man. They're doing the thing. Of course, they have to do the thing. There are characters that we gotta have a reason for them to be allowed to do this, but this is pretty cool. I wonder if we're going to experience much more of that kind of sentiment when we arrive at Earth, if we arrive safely at Earth, because Char is not fucking done ever, right? He might have lost a Zaku or two Zakus or whatever in this encounter, but he's still got suits and probably got mines and shit, and he's gonna find some crazy diabolical plan to make something happen, I'm sure. That being said, approaching Earth directly in a relatively small ship is probably not the best idea. I assume that if Luna 2 has all these defenses, that Earth has way more. So maybe he'll have to stay away and maybe we're in a relatively safe zone. I don't know. Yeah, I'm down for one more. So I'm gonna. Actually, let me Sakagaburu. I am still down for one more, but let me Sakagaburu episode 4. There's only one. Okay, but the one cut that's there is basically a whole combat sequence. Um, Here with Char and Amuro and slicing swords. I really liked that bit. It looks a little wonky here. Like the foreshortening on all of the elements isn't quite consistent, but I really love the feel of it. As our camera is zooming. Fuck, I just spilled tea all over everything. I've got to wipe that up. Good thing that I'm about to take a break. So this is a cool cut. There's no listed person responsible for it, which kind of sucks. And it also sucks that I just spilled tea all over everything. I've got to make sure that my my audio interface doesn't get soaked with tea. So I'm going to take that as my opportunity to take a break. I'll see you in just a moment for episode 5 of Gundam. Sorry, Gundam. I'll see you in a sec. Peace. All right, welcome back. We're good to go for episode 5. I've got a couple of t-shirts down on my desk to soak up all of the tea that I just spilled, which sucks because it's good tea. And I think that's it. We're watching Re-Entry to Earth. We're getting to the Earth Zone. Maybe we'll get a chance to drop some of these refugees off. Maybe we'll run into some more like political and military struggle here. And maybe, just maybe, we'll have a moment of respite. I don't know. It's been pretty bam, wham, bam, 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 bam action stuff for the last couple of episodes, and I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's just how it's gonna be. Let's watch the episode and find out. Beep beep timer. All right, White Base incoming to Earth. We made it, fam. Almost, almost. Oh, thank you. Where half of humanity's population was lost. Oh, yeah. Whoa, zooming. That's freaking sad, dog. Oh, you just carry them around with you? These are your go pills. Chew them. All right, man. All right, dude. Oh, wow, we're almost here. I don't know that that is exactly the same thing, but I fully trust you. Yeah. You got it. You got it, Mirai, I believe. Follow the salami. Sorry. Yeah, no. No, Char has not gone away. Char is coming up with a plan. Hello. It does kind of look like a salami. It's just a big tube. Oh? And we've got a chance. Or it's a fucking play. Ah, shit. More Zakus. How many? 3. Okay. We can deal. We can deal. We can handle 3 Zakus. God damn, he just does not give up at all. They're entering the atmosphere too? Are they gonna enter an attack in re-entry? Whoa. Insane. Alright, what are these 3 guys' names? No, we don't know. Oh, they were supposed to say something there, but they never dubbed it in. Yeah, but they don't care about you, man. They're just sending the suits, huh? Insane. Insane, Char. All right, Reed, you were only introduced to us this episode. I don't know if you're going to survive. Almost certainly, dude. Like 100% he will. Yeah, can we get belts or something? This is a warship. We don't have straps. All right, Gundam's ready for deploy. Oh, ata. Oh, he's a master now. He's getting it. Zoom in. So they're trying in the tight window of 8 minutes to do all the shit. Char, you're a monster. In like the coolest way. Yeah. That's what the delivery was. Yeah, it is what it is. That's not much. It is what it is, my man. You got to do it. Zoom. Please don't launch the bazooka at Char. Don't fucking do it. Oh, that's Dren. Oh no, Dren is that guy. Cool. Oh, she is clicking buttons, man. Shit. Not at Char. Yikes. 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 Still though, we gotta be firing. Shit. Get reading, dude. I guess there has not been much time. Oh, kiddo. Oh, put your faith in Amuro Ray. How many episodes has it been, my man? You should know this. No. It's not gonna... Well, that was closer. Oh, through the shield. Yo, Char. Crazy motherfucker. How can you not get distracted by Char? Yeah, bad move. All right, one down. Or not. Or not. Just the shield. Shit, 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 shit. Nope. You are, like, out of... Just start shooting something, man. Even if it's just as a distraction. I love the tracking of the fire. That's great. Oh, damn. The what? Yeah, I'll take that. What is that? That's new. Shit, fuck, shit. He sure does. Sorry, bud. You're cold. Bye-bye. I don't think he can hear you, my man. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Wait, what? That's not a hammer. That's a flail. You can do it, Amuro. Fuck. Shit. Fuck. Got boosters? Oh, fuck. Well, we've got the Gundam hammer. Oh, okay, that was weird. Char! I love it. I love it so much. It's so cool. Holy crap. No. Yeah, you're decompressing, dog. Ah, good. Fair enough. Bruh. Trying to save your life here. It's gonna hurt. Yeah, I feel like any imperfection in the thing is not gonna do that. It's not gonna be good. Yeah, we are screwed. What an operation. That's great. Trying to save some friends, defeat some enemies at the same time. Me too, man. Bing! Bing! Alright, they got him. Ah, crown. Gotta use 100% of your brain. It's nothing for you, Char. Calm. The what? Hey, Reed's alive. Fuck. Those again. Oh, it's the same cut again. Weird. I know you're not, girl. You're a badass. Yeah, he's freaking good at this, man. That's true. So's the machine. Oh. Oh, shit. Thwack. Okay, got him. Dude, I think they're terrified. Oh, reuse again. There's a lot of reuse in this episode. Wow. Big explosion. Shit. But you gotta... Oh, just chucking it. Close everything up. Yeah, get back in here, boy. Dude. Don't push it, Amuro. You gotta be safe. Save the Gundam. Ah, cool color scheme. Boop. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. True. Double true. Sit your ass down. All right, buddy. Tension. Ramp the tension. Ramp the tension. Oh, he's gonna fucking use the shield. Dog. Dog, get in the boat. Get in the fucking boat. Crown. I don't really care about you, but you're named. He genuinely cares a little bit. Maybe. Sorry, Crown. You tried, bud. The Gundam is not falling apart yet, though. Oh. Engineering power! Engineering power! Heat-proof film? Saran wrap, saran wrap, saran wrap. Crazy. Sweet. Roughly. Really roughly is how you're gonna land, my man. Amuro! Amuro! Impossible. Bakana. Masaka. Yes. Oh, there's the Masaka. Yeah, Papa Ray did some good engineering. All right, how do you decelerate, my man? Oh, I think it will until it hits the ground. The ground is a problem. There are ground forces on Earth? Ooh. There's a full war still present on the surface. That's crazy. There you go, yeah. Oh. Garmazabi. Well, this guy's a character. Oh. Oh. This guy's evil. Oh boy. The hair, the chin, the weird looking skin. That boy's evil. Cool. It's like a goth vampire soldier. It's crazy. Sweet. Oh, yeah, how's Amuro handling this? Ah! He hasn't burned up. He's still gonna hit, right? Oh, I guess we can nab him at this point. That motherfucker. All right, you do that, Bright. Oh, yeah. Holy shit! I just re-entered orbit in a fucking mobile suit. Literally, nobody's ever done this before, probably. And we're back. We're back, baby. So if they can just fly around, so they could fly to a different continent, right? Hell yeah, dog. It is. What? Okay. Yeah, where are we landing? I guess it doesn't matter. All right, buddy. Backup plans for the backup plans, man. Fuck. Immediately back in it. Let me guess, it's Garma. Instant Garma. Shit. Hey, what's up, boy? You are not as cool as Char. I see you trying. I fully see you trying, dog. You're not as cool. Ah, this purple blue hair twirling motherfucker. Ah, we got a new villain. Sweet. I'm actually glad that we get a new villain. Not because Char's antics are getting old in any sense, in any way, shape, or form. I think I would personally be totally happy if Char just kept acquiring more Zaku's and continuously attacking White Base in order to just run down their resources. Because it's pretty sick, and he's a dope as hell. Speaking of dope as hell, this whole episode's idea is dope as hell. A mid-air battle in orbit as we attempt to re-enter Earth's atmosphere, with the like dual dangers of getting caught in the atmosphere and burning up in re-entry, and the danger of the actual battle and the fight that's going on, is super freaking rad. It's super rad. Leave it to Char to come up with a crazy fucking plan like this. And to make really, really cool freaking moves like this little like thing that he does. Whoosh. Dope. So dope. I think iconic, honestly. Like, that's Char right there. Bam. And we get the little humanity, humanizing story with the little kid and the guy who had the coffee plantation and stuff. So we get an understanding of what we're fighting for and why. And then a crazy battle, crazy. The rockets that shoot through shields, the axe cutting through the shield, like all of this stuff is just Char leveling up and realizing what he needs to do to try to defeat the Gundam. And it doesn't all come together in this episode, but man, is he getting scary. So we demonstrate that these guys are still absolutely amateurs and like they're the best suited to do this mission, but that doesn't mean that they know everything that they're doing by any stretch of the imagination. I also felt like there were some elements of this episode that were a little bit like the first time I felt any corners being cut in Gundam, with a bunch of shot reuse and a bunch of moments that felt like a little bit off. And maybe that's just because there's so much going on in this episode. Like we have to draw them against the planet. We have to draw the whole reentry sequences because there are multiple ships reentering. There's a ton of different Zakus and fighters and things fighting each other. A bunch of different moments. We have the interiors of multiple vehicles to cut to. There are just an obscene number of scenes in this episode. It is jam-packed with stuff. I also love these crosscuts. They're cool. And I love the moment when Crown is defeated and Char like actually his fist shakes a little bit and he's feeling it for just a moment, right? It humanizes him. Now, of course, this is just like maybe he just cares because that's his tool that he was using to win, and he's like, okay, I guess I'm gonna avenge you and make sure that this wasn't in vain and all that stuff. But it feels human. It feels real, and I think that's pretty cool. The Gundam hammer, cool idea. I thought it was gonna be like a giant hammer as opposed to a giant flail thing. So I was a little bit disappointed in that. It's not that cool. Not the coolest weapon. The lightsabers are super doper, like clearly way doper, but I don't know. It does its work, and I'm sure that they sold some Gundam Hammer accessories because of this episode. So no sweat there. Again, all the locations are so cool. The inside of this bridge and the different angles that they choose to shoot it from are so neat. Moving around the ship are it's not Ryu and Kai, it's the other guys. To fire off all the machine guns, super rad. The looks of the insides of these things as they're basically burning up in orbit and everything turns red are super dope. Watching the one Zaku get obliterated in re-entry scares me, but then it turns out that the Gundam is super duper ultra mega dope and has magic saran wrap that prevents re-entry stuff. Sure, yeah, no, I buy it. I'm down. I don't care. That's fine. And a beautiful scene at the end of Char having to sort of hand off responsibility for this to a new villain, Captain Garma of the ground forces. So I wasn't aware that Earth is not safe from Zeons, right? Like, it's not like Earth is the core base of the Earth Federation. It's Zeon occupied territory. There's a continent that's fully Zeon, and the war everywhere. That's crazy as an element to add to this war. I think that's pretty interesting. And then, of course, the awesome ending scene. We bring the shutters down and can see sky and earth and sea and the world, and it's cool, and we tie it all back in with that emotional center, and we realize that we're still in the shit. Like, we are not safe here, and we're not safe anywhere. This guy is coming for you. And that's a scary thought, that this freaking weirdo is coming for you. Look good. He's terrifying. No, we'll have to see how he acts and whether he can match up to any extent with the madman Char, who has been our sole villain for 5 episodes, right? But I don't know. This was a cool episode. This was fun. There's probably more that I should talk about here. I don't know. It's gotten to like the end of the recording session, and I'm a little bit fizzed in the brain, just 'cause so much shit happened in this episode. There are definitely some cool cuts during the fighting sequences, and like they completely offset some of the reuse and like feeling like corners are being cut. Some great explosions, some crazy moments, some crazy shots, some crazy camera movement around these flying suits attacking each other literally while re-entering Earth's atmosphere is crazy. It's an insane idea. And it also is just like tension, tension, tension. We've been fully driving this story forward continuously. Char has been the one driving the action constantly right at the heels of Amuro and the crew, forcing them to keep running faster and faster and trying to get better while they're like sleep deprived and fighting and fighting and fighting and running and trying to escape from Luna. And they think that they're going to get some respite at Luna Base, and they don't, because Char is just there and he's already got a plan. It's scary, but it's also like the best D&D campaign, because there's constantly something going on that forces the characters into a new situation where they have to figure out new things to do in order to defeat kind of the same enemies, which works. It works really well, and I'm fully going to yoink some of the idea here, because it makes sense. It drives the plot forward, and it forces this group of the ragtag band of adventurers, very literally amateurs, to stay on their toes and keep trucking. We do have this element of Reed here, who is getting mad about how these amateurs handle things, but man, they saved your life, so shut the hell up and deal, man. I just skimmed to it, and I gotta mention that this moment where Amuro is just sitting in the Gundam, full white suit, hands clasped, waiting for something to happen. Like, he knows at this point Char is coming, something's gonna happen, and he's just ready for it. And then when we call him to get going for it, I think it's here. He just like blam 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 blam, like enemies, blam, 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 and everything's on, right? He's just like prepped. He knows exactly what he's going to do. He's got a better understanding of the Gundam systems, not all the subsystems, like he had to read the manual to find the thing about the protective film, but he's got a much better understanding of the Gundam's systems, and he's using it. He's really working on becoming a better pilot, and I think it's fantastic, for him as a character. I think this whole episode was pretty damn cool. I think this stretch of 3 episodes, again, is very fast-paced. There's constantly a threat, and we're constantly responding to that threat and just trying to survive, which makes for a pretty cool story, and for protagonists that we can really root for, because we just want them to live so that we can see the next episode and see what they end up doing next. As well as an antagonist who we can kind of root for, because he's a badass, and I want to see what he does next. Like, 50% is, will our characters survive? Well, of course they will. What is Char gonna do is the cooler part of the show, right? It's so much fun to be like to get inside Char's mind and see him come up with a plan like, okay, we're gonna get a last minute delivery of 3 Zaku's, and they and my pink Zaku are gonna zoom after White Base and attack them in the 8-minute window before they re-enter the atmosphere, because it's our last chance, right? But it's not even our last chance, because by attacking them at this point, we force them to re-enter early and force their trajectory into our continent, where one of our homies can come in and start. Char's a mastermind monster, and I love him. I think he's just the coolest character in this thing. I know he's the bad guy, and I don't care. Hell yeah. Char for president. Let's go. I don't know that the Principality of Zeon has presidents. I don't think that they do, given that it's a principality. But goddamn. What an episode, what a character, what a set of characters, what an idea for a bunch of encounters in this episode. I love it. I dig it. It's cool. Okay. Let's check this episode on Sakagaburu, I suppose. Oh, there is one cut. Oh, it's when the hammer blocks the missile and he still manages to grab the hammer, and then he's zooming and chucking stuff. It's fully artist unknown, which kind of sucks, because there was some cool like camera movement over the course of this whole cut. Yeah, chucking the Zuka. Boom, and then it rebounds, and then there's the other suit behind him attacking, and then it chops through the shield, and it gets really scary at this moment. But he womps this guy. and gets elbow whomped in return, but that guy explodes. It's a crazy explosion. I figure that somebody else did the explosion, but it's a crazy looking explosion. Wow. Okay, that's it. I just wanted to see that because it's cool. I dig the episode. Even with some of the reuse of shots and stuff, it doesn't really bother me. Um yeah, I dig this whole set of 3 episodes, and I think I'm gonna wrap there because all I have to say is that this was fun and cool and energetic and, and good. Hell yeah. All right. I've been Teeaboo. This has been Mobile Suit Gundam episodes 3, 4, 5. And I will catch you next week for some Garma stuff. We got Captain Garma of the Ground Forces coming after us with a whole fleet of ships, and we're gonna be fighting not in space for the first time since episode 1. So that should be really interesting. Maybe we can actually get the other Gundam suit things going and like use the gun tank and stuff to great effect here because we're on the surface and tanks work on surfaces. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you want the next reactions up, they will be up on the Patreon soon after this one goes up on YouTube, and I will see you next week for more Mobile Suit Gundam. Peace.